Let's take an example that can demonstrate the differences between contacts and instructions. We'll take a simple example that shows how the program behaves when using a normally open contact, which is a physical device, and using two different instructions within the software. It might sound repetitive, but I want to compare the effect of using a normally open and normally closed contacts. The next video will take a normally closed contact with the same instructions. For this one, we are going to concentrate on normally open contact or relay and using two types of instructions. So let's see what happens when using a normally open relay and having two different instructions in the PLC, examine if closed, examine if open. Let's assume that we have a push button that is a normally open relay. It's connected to the input module in the PLC and a light connected to that output module in the PLC. Remember that field devices and program instructions are not the same thing. So depending now on the program written in the software using ladder logic, the output will behave differently. Since the contact is normally open contact, this means it's usually open, and when the push button is pressed, the contact closes and hence provides the continuity within the electrical circuit. Let's see what happens in the program using XIC. When using an XIC, remember XIC is activated when the memory location is 1. So if the push button is not pressed, the memory location is 0, and as a result, the XIC instruction will not be highlighted and the light will not turn on. And once the push button is pressed, the memory location is 1 and the XIC instruction is activated. On the other hand, when having the same physical device, normally open relay, and using different instruction, examine if open, XIO, XIO is activated when the memory location is 0. So if the push button is not pressed, the memory location is 0, and as a result, the XIO instruction will be highlighted and the light will turn on. Once we press on the push button, the memory location is 1 and the XIO is not activated anymore. So as you can see, although we're using the same physical device, which is a normally open contact, the way we program it in the software using ladder logic produces a different output. This is to demonstrate the difference between using an XIC and XIO while having the same normally open contact, the same physical device. XIC and XIO have their uses in the programming. Each is used for certain tasks, like emergency stop, for example, as you will see later in the course.